The guitar fretboard is not a mystery, and downloading endless PDFs of different scales and different keys is wasting your time. Apply the information you get from YouTube, TikTok, and music lessons to your fretboard escalator and get to playing and understanding music faster. My name's Steve, and I'm the inventor of the fretboard escalator. I, like many others, put the guitar down for 25 years after high school. Since inventing and using this system, I've never been more confident and more excited, not only to play, but to create music. Guitar teachers show you techniques to play guitar, and that's invaluable. But the Fretboard Escalator and other tools from musiclabs.ca will teach you how the guitar works so that you can put that knowledge to use with confidence and take control of your journey as a guitarist. If you want to get straight to a demonstration, feel free to skip to the end of this video. Today, we're spoiled for choice when it comes to learning guitar. We are in constant information overload from the internet. What's missing is something to tie all this information together and feed that to your brain while physically doing something in a consistent manner. This is what accelerates learning. The Fretboard Escalator is a tactile tool that would allow you to put into practice immediately scales, chords, triads, the cage system, and so much more. This is done by the processes of physical three-dimensional learning. It's the first complete tactile system for learning guitar ever produced. Unless you're doing, you're not learning. No matter how many PDFs you stare at or how many sliding plastic gadgets you buy, you are still not actually doing anything other than looking at them. Thus, you will not progress as fast as you will with the Fretboard Escalator and other tools from musiclabs.ca. There's so much to do in learning guitar. Left-hand technique, right-hand technique, look at the screen, look at your hand, and remember the scale shape. It's too much at once. Put down the guitar and get your mental game in order first. Divide the learning into 2 steps. Start off with building the pentatonic scale shapes using physical learning, as I am here. Placing the pegs into the correct pattern will drive this information home faster, and you'll retain it forever. Most people can learn how to build the pentatonic scales across an entire fretboard escalator without assistance in just 1 or 2 evenings. Now that we have some shapes to reference, you can start noodling. Here you'll be experimenting with what notes sound better than others over backing tracks or drone notes. Find the notes you like and figure out why it sounds good. When you know the why it sounds good, the information gets locked into your brain quicker and stays longer. Don't forget that with the Fretboard Escalator, you can do that noodling in any key, in any position, against any backing track, thus getting you out of that one pentatonic box or that one key, probably A minor. Plus, you don't need a new PDF for each key. Just shuffle the Fretboard Escalator, or if you're an advanced player, adjust the pegs to the appropriate mode. You will also place the major scale intervals on the Fretboard Escalator and gain an understanding of the relationships between them. These will form triads, chords, double stops, adding in the blue note or creating melodic solos with a full 7-note major scale, which is the most important scale of all. Combine the Fretboard Escalator with the circle of fifths dial and the chord and lead generator, and within hours you will actually understand musical keys. Yes, it's that easy. And this will unlock the guitar fretboard forever. You'll finally feel in control of your learning path. You will be able to speak the musical language with your friends, bandmates, music teacher, and thus you will never be intimidated by the guitar or other guitarists ever again. The best part of this system is that it works with all your existing learning paths, both now and in the future. You will keep it and use it for the rest of your musical journey, whether that journey is in-person lessons, online lessons, YouTube, or if you like using TikTok, Reels, or YouTube Shorts. You can apply all these bite-sized lessons to the Fretboard Escalator and actually understand what you're doing in the greater context of the guitar. Consistency is key when learning, and this system will tie everything you're working on together into one place. The Fretboard Escalator can be used with or without a guitar, especially at first. You can sit down with a coffee and go through the exercises on Music Labs 234's YouTube site while the kids are sleeping, on a plane, at a picnic table in the sunshine, or even better yet, with a guitar in your hand. Using the fretboard escalator with your guitar and referencing it visually will become easier and easier. Soon, you won't even look at your hands. You might only look at the fretboard escalator. This will give you the freedom to move all over the neck. Even if you don't have all the patterns and positions memorized, you'll be able to pick pockets of interest and work on those areas. When this happens, it feels like you're reading music, but it's music you're writing on the fly, and at the same time training yourself that you can actually visualize the shapes with or without the guitar. Of course, you can and should use this as you learn your favorite music in tablature or notation form, because at any point, if you forget a lead line, guess what? You can now make it up because you know where you are on the fretboard and you know where you can go to continue your solo or create a new riff. This device is designed to get you off your screen. Choose something to learn, apply it to the tools, and turn off your screen. Focus on the task at hand with no scrolling distractions, no sun glare on a tiny phone, getting interrupted by texts, no lost two-dimensional PDF downloads that were supposed to show you 1 minute I'm going to teach you 30 years of lessons. Yeah, right. Spoiler alert, there's no such thing. However, the good news is that actually understanding how the guitar works is the shortcut to accelerated learning. Personally, I've never enjoyed playing more, never felt more confident in discussing music with other musicians, and have never had such a clear path in front of me that I get to direct. I feel in control of my guitar learning journey. That's why I wanted to share this exciting project with you and with the world. Now, I've already proven I can design and bring to market a quality product. It's called the Circle of Fifths dial, and it's currently available on Amazon. I actually had the fretboard escalator injection molds ready as well for mass production 6 months ago, but I came up with a better design. This caused me to stop production, start over, and gave me the ability to patent the new design before releasing it to the public. However, now I need you. I need your help to bring the design into production by sharing and supporting this project. Up next is a quick overview of the actual use of the system as a whole. It's a 6-minute video, so that's why I put it at the end. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Now remember, the only way this product can get into your hands is if you share it with as many guitarists as you can. This is a quick overview of the musiclabs.ca guitar learning system. It consists of 3 components: the Circle of Fifths dial, the chord and lead generator, and the subject of this Kickstarter campaign, the fretboard escalator itself. So let's say you want to play or jam to a Pink Floyd style backing track in the key of B minor. Well, the first thing you need to do is change your Circle of Fifths dial such that it is in the key of B minor. We rotate the dial so that the B lines up with the inner number 1 Roman numeral. We are now in the key of B minor, or the relative key of D major. We have to do the same thing to the fretboard escalator. We'll change the key. So what we want to do is bring the 1 over top the D, just like the Circle of Fifths dial, so that it is in the key of D major. As I take fret blocks out from the right and replace them on the left, it changes keys just like your guitar does. I now have the 1 over top the D, meaning the fretboard escalator is in the key of D major, or the relative key of B minor. I've chosen this chord progression in this video as an example because it's an easy one. All we're doing is walking back from the major scale, from the 6th degree of the major scale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 is the chord progression. So as an absolute beginner, you can play power chords, starting on the 6 and going to the 5, 4, 3, and then 2 is an open chord. So let's switch to our guitar view and turn the backing track on. So as an absolute beginner, you can start here in the 6. Then we go down to the 5. All we have to do is follow the numbers. So there you go. You can play it. So there's a million more things we can do as a beginner with chord shapes, and the cage system even pops out. Even for an absolute beginner, you can at least understand it. You don't have to play or use it. But let's move on to, say, an intermediate player who might be working on their pentatonic scale shapes. So again, we're still in the key of B minor here, and I've just simplified the previous fretboard escalator, so we're just showing a pentatonic scale shape. Position 1, if you want to call it that, of the B minor pentatonic scale shape. So you might want to just play this over top the backing track, get used to it, get good at it, and then do each and every other position. That might be one of your learning pathways, so let's just demonstrate that. So I'm going to look at the fretboard escalator and just play through the scale. Now maybe you want to do a little bit of solo work in there, just like that. But let's say you're getting a little bored with that basic pentatonic shape, and after you go through the lessons, you'll be able to create these extensions, but that would be one extension I'd recommend. And now I have somewhere to go. If I'm finding my scale to be a little boring, now I can go something like that, whatever you want to do. I got to be quick here because I don't have a lot of your time. So let's go back. Now let's say a high intermediate or perhaps advanced guitarist might want this scale back. We've got the entire 7-note scale shown here, but I've still left the pentatonic in white. It just really pops out to me, those pentatonic bass skeleton positions when I do it this way, and the yellow notes are just those two missing notes to make it the full major scale. So now you might want to practice your full major scale, either with or without a backing track. Let's try without a backing track first. I'm going to look at this. I know my pentatonic quite well, but do I know where those extra notes are? I'm going to look at my fretboard escalator and go through it. Very helpful. It's like reading sheet music. Once you get used to looking at the fretboard escalator instead of your hands, it really increases your freedom. And then when you play without the fretboard escalator, it just really pops on the guitar fretboard. So what's the next thing we can do? We can do triads. So the triads are listed on the chord and lead generator. For every chord, the triad numbers or intervals are right here. For example, the 6 is a 6-1-3. There's a 1, 3, and a 6 right there, so I can play a triad right there. My next triad is a 5-7-2. That would be here. 5, 7, and 2. So here's our 6. Here's our 5-7-2. Here's our 4-6-1. Okay, so everywhere we see a 6-1-3, we can play that as a triad. We won't go deep there, but you know what I'm talking about. If you know your triads or you've heard about it, here's a great way to find them all across your fretboard and allow you to play in position. So there are countless things you can do with a fretboard escalator, the chord and lead generator, and the circle of fifths style. However, I really have to stress that it is not meant to replace your existing lessons. Whether you're taking them in person, online, or you just love doing YouTube shorts and quick, tiny little learning bites, that's perfectly acceptable, especially if you tie it all to one thing like this, so that at least the consistency is here. Instead of seeing a whole bunch of different ways other people do it, put it on the fretboard escalator and make it your own. So if you're still with me after all this time, thanks again. Obviously, you see the power and the potential of the tools like I do. So backing the project is super important, but even more important is to get the word out. I really need you to help me spread the word on social media, send this project and the link to the website to all the guitarists you know. If we work together, we can actually bring this to market. Thanks again.